Hi, my name is Gary Benson. This is Benson's Drum Corner. This is the first in my series Beginning Drum Beats videos. Now this is a very low-tech video filmed on an iPhone. I know there's a lot of 32 camera angles, perfect sound, drum instruction videos out there. And don't get me wrong, those are all excellent, excellent videos. And mine will be there someday too, as soon as you realize the value of my expertise and subscribe to my videos. In the meantime, these Gorilla iPhone videos are a perfect way to impart my knowledge to you. Now I have two different thoughts when it comes to beginning drumming, or two different ways of teaching it. Now first off, it's very important to learn relaxation techniques and learn your rudiments, which is on a practice pad and a snare drum. But it's also very important to have fun, and so immediately from the get-go I like to teach my students beginning drum beats that are easy to grasp and immediately start applying to the drums. When you put together my rudiments relaxation technique video with my beginning drum beats video, practice them both at the same time, then eventually those relaxation techniques will transfer to the drum kit. But right now, this is my series of beginning drum beats for the beginning drummer. Stay tuned and have fun! Hello! So this is beginning rock beat number 1. Now, this beat is based on eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All of the eighth notes are played on the hi-hat. You keep the hi-hat in a closed position, resting your foot lightly on the foot pedal but keeping it closed. And all eighth notes in the hi-hat. On the bass drum is all the quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the snare drum is the quarter note 2 and the quarter note 4. Now very important, a couple of things. Very important is you always need to count out loud when you're playing this beat. In the beginning, always count out loud so you can keep track of where you are. And it helps you not to lose your place. Now also very important is you always count yourself in one measure. One measure would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you start the beat on the 1 of the next measure. Also, when you end your beat, always end your beat in a specific spot on the 1. If you're in a band and you're playing a song, you're not going to end a beat in the middle of the song. So you need to learn to end your beats in a definitive spot. Usually it would be on the 1 at the end of a song. I'm going to start off very slow and I'm going to play the full beat all together for you. Then we're going to separate it out. Now also important is you start off as slow as you can. Now being a beginning student, you have the tendency to want to speed things up quickly. If you start to feel comfortable with it, you speed it way up. That's where working with a metronome can come in handy, which we'll go over in the next video lesson. But to begin with, I don't want to throw too many things at once. I find it easier for the student to learn the beat first, not worrying about the metronome, but trying to keep in mind to keep the speed and the pace down at a relaxed level to where they're comfortable. Then they can speed it up later when they start working with the metronome. So I'm going to do the full beat. I'm going to count myself in one measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That's the full beat. I'll do it a little quicker just so you can get the feel of how it would sound. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now the best way for beginning students to learn a beat like this is start off with one piece at a time. I like to start off with the hi-hat. On the hi-hat are all of the eighth notes. Then after that we add the bass drum, which are all of the quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And lastly, we add the snare drum, which is on the quarter note 2 and the quarter note 4. Now, what is best to do is to play each piece until you feel comfortable. And then you add them all together. piece by piece. Now, very important again, count out loud, count all of the eighth notes all of the time. So we're going to start off with only the hi-hat until we feel comfortable with that. Counting in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. Now when you feel comfortable counting and playing that, then move to the bass drum. Now the bass drum is what? That's right, all the quarter notes, but you still count all of the eighth notes. Count yourself in. If you feel yourself rushing it, stop, slow it back down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Keep doing that one piece until you feel very comfortable with it. Then you do the snare drum. Now the snare drum beats are, that's right, 2 and 4. Count myself in. 1 and 2. Whoops, I'm rushing it. Slow it down, Gary. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. All right, now do that each piece a few times. And when we feel very comfortable, then we start off again each piece separately, but we add each piece as we keep everything going. I'm going to start off with the hi-hat, then add the bass drum, then add the snare drum when we feel comfortable. So I'm going to count myself in, starting with the hi-hat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, bass drum, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and snare drum, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. All right, now everything's all together. I'm going to do a quick demonstration of what it might feel like if you're putting it all together and you are thinking about what to do and when to add things and what might be going through your brain. You, though, will be still counting out loud all the time. I'll give you some dialogue as to what might be going through my brain if I was first learning this beat. Count myself in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm feeling pretty comfortable there. That feels relaxed. I think I can try to add the bass drum. The bass drum goes on the 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let me try that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now I'm feeling comfortable with that. I'm just going to groove on that for a while. That's nice. But now I'm thinking about adding my snare drum. The snare drum goes on the 1. Oh, no, it doesn't go on the 1. It goes on the 2 and the 4. So let's see. I'm still counting out loud, so hopefully I know where that is. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, now I'm going to think about ending my beat, and I'm going to want to end it on the 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. All right. Now You bring it up a little tempo as you get comfortable, and a little bit more as you get comfortable, and that's where the metronome comes in handy, because also as a drummer you're going to want to keep a steady pace when you practice a lot, so you make sure you're not speeding up or slowing down when you're in a band. My name's Gary Benson. This has been Benson's Drum Corner. Stay tuned for my next number 2 video in the drum beat series. Also, beginning relaxation techniques and rudiments series will need to go along with this, because you need to be practicing proper relaxation techniques at the same time, so they will eventually translate to the drum set. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.